Hello, and welcome back to the lab. Today is a very exciting day because it's here. It's finally here. This box has probably the most important component to being able to build the Printalyzer Densitometer. So, what is that component? Microcontrollers. If you've been following the global silicon shortage that's made all the news, one of the hardest to come by items these days are the microcontrollers that you would use in pretty much any embedded project. Back when I started working on this project with the early research prototypes, I was looking around to see what microcontrollers I could still get because things were starting to be a little scarce. Ultimately, I wound up using the STM32L052 series. This series had good availability at the time and seemed like an ideal fit. It had just enough flash, just enough RAM, could do USB without needing an external crystal, and even had some EEPROM on board to handle configuration storage. As I moved forward with the prototypes, I discovered that I really needed a little more memory. I wanted to do fancier things with the software. I was starting to build out a USB control interface, so I decided that I really wanted to bump up to the STM32L072 series. This gave me more flash to work with, but was otherwise fairly similar. It was pretty difficult to actually get a hold of those chips, but one morning I lucked out while browsing Mouser. They admitted they had a couple in stock, and I was able to order enough to get me through prototypes. However, now that I'm starting to look towards production, I need more than a handful. I need to be able to get enough to build a full production batch. This is hard. If you go onto any of these electronics distributor websites and just type in a search for your favorite microcontroller, and then you click the little checkbox for in stock, all of a sudden a big number goes down to a small number, or often to 0. This series is pretty much no exception. The particular series is the STM32L072K, which comes in a variety of flash sizes and packages, but really I was looking for something in the 32-pin class that kind of gave me what I needed. So the chip that I wound up using for my previous round of prototypes that I'm using for all of my current development is pretty much impossible to get. In fact, everything in that product line is impossible to get. You check anywhere and they'll say 0 in stock, 45-week lead time. We don't know when we're getting any. If you check Mouser, they'll at least tell you how many they've ordered, but you still don't know when they're going to show up. With one exception. The STM32L072KZT6 was the one chip where they actually admitted a date that they were expecting to get a whole bunch more in stock. This date was at the end of January, so I decided to cross my fingers in early November and placed an order for a sizable batch of these chips. I didn't know if it was actually going to ship in late January, and the package was different than what I was using on my current prototypes, so it would need a PCB revision to be able to use them. Switching from a QFN to a QFP style package, if you have any idea what that means. But hey, at least Mouser admitted when they were going to get more in stock. So I placed the order in early November and just waited. And all my planning was assuming, if I'm lucky, by the end of January, I'll actually be able to build my pre-production prototypes. Well, a few days ago, I was checking my order status on the site, checking the product page again to see if any dates had changed, and whoops, they were no longer admitting a date when they get them in stock. But I got an email that my order had shipped. And here it is. This should be, hopefully, enough microcontrollers to get me through pre-production prototypes and the first major batch of production of the Printalyzer Densitometer. Now, it's not the only back-ordered part in the device, but it is the only one where I don't have an easy way to get enough to continue to build prototypes. So with this, I should be able to build my final pre-production prototypes early next year with good confidence, and even if it may take a few more months before I can start ramping up production quantity, at least I'll be able to send out units for testing and evaluation, which is really what's important right now. So, without further ado, let's crack this box open and see what's inside. Okay, here we go. Let's pull the tab off the side. There we go. So I don't think I'm going to open these up right now because they are in full trays sealed in a moisture barrier bag inside of this with some silica gel, and I'd rather not crack the seal on that until it's actually time to start assembling boards. So I'm going to go ahead and scan this into my inventory system, put it away for safekeeping, and with any luck, come January, I now have high confidence I'll be able to start building some actual pre-production prototypes. So, it's been a very exciting day. Until later, bye!